What's up, everybody? Hopefully you're all doing well and having yourselves a very fantastic day. The name, of course, is Jason Joseph. Apologize. Oh, my gosh. OBS. Man, that was awful. I literally started my recording, and it froze on me. It froze on me, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to X out of it because it said that it wasn't recording, and, of course, it just crashed, and I had to make a new video. So I apologize about that. Well, we go to the bottom of the first inning. Phillies lead it 1-0. Alec Boehm just had an RBI single, and the Phillies are taking on the Cincinnati Reds. We have a lot to get into. I want to make sure that I have everything up and running now because the whole thing just crashed on me. I really do apologize about that. That was awful. So I have to make sure that I delete that stream, and I'm going to do that now. But yes, all right. So let's do this. Wakey, wakey. I know, bro. OBS sucks sometimes. OBS really does suck. I can't do this. What the heck is going on? What the freak? YouTube Studio. Now I can't even see the chat. Come on, what's going on today, man? This has really been giving me a lot of problems today, and I'm like not even happy with OBS right now. Really not. All right, I can't see the chat. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's go to view in the control room. Does this work? There we go. There we go. That's better. Finally, we're up and running. All right, can you guys see my chat? Hi. There we go. That's better. Good. All right, we're up and running. All right, we are up and running, so that's awesome. Don't know what happened here. Want to fix that if I can. No, that's not what I want. What the heck? Real time. It's not what I want either. There we go. Great. So my chat's working and all that stuff is good. Again, really do apologize about these technical difficulties. It sucks. It really does. Larry says, there you are. Yep. All right. So we go to the bottom of the first inning. Christopher Sanchez is on the mound for the Phillies. Again, they lead it 1-0 on an RBI base hit by Alec Boehm. The first pitch to Fairchild is down low. So Christopher Sanchez in 4 starts is 1-2. He has gone 21 1/3 of an inning, has a 2.53 earned run average and 8 walks allowed. The 1-0 pitch grounder rolled over to third base, bobbled by Sosa. Turner backhands it, and everybody's going to be safe. So, there is a error over at third base by Edmundo Sosa. Alec Boehm is over at first base tonight because Bryce Harper, of course, is on paternity leave, having his third child. Sosa bobbled it, and, he doesn't really get a whole lot of reps over at third base this year, so can't really say too much, but definitely should have had that ground ball. There's no doubt about it. Sanchez on the bump, gets set at the belt, steer at the plate, and he stares at a 95-mile-per-hour pitch for a called strike at the knees. Steer hitting .295. He has 3 homers, 18 RBI. Also is slashing .409 and .513 to go along with that. So we got a runner over at first. That's Fairchild, and the 0-1 is fouled off. Fairchild tried to go, but he'll have to retreat back over to first base. So Fairchild steer. And I took a picture of everybody. Back-to-back doubles by JT and Boehm. Yes, I did see that. And JT's batting in the 3rd spot today. So that is good to know. All right. So Sanchez gets set above the belt this time. And the next pitch, fouled off again. All right, so no balls, 2 strikes. Alec Boehm leads the Phillies now with 19 RBIs. And according to John Clark, he has 10 RBI, quote, over the last week and is hitting close to 500 during this whole entire winning streak by the Phillies. Throw back over to first is not in time to try to get Fairchild. There's Cal Gill, the first base coach for the the Cincinnati Reds, and of course they're showing David Bell, who's in his 6th season now as Reds manager, former Phillies player David Bell. Throw back to first again for disengagement purposes, not in time. Bell has 345 wins with the Reds and 385 career losses. No balls, 2 strikes. Sanchez gets set just below the letters. Phillies in their gray and red uniforms. The 0-2 fouled off again. Fairchild was going, and he gets his exercise as he retreats again back over to first base. All right. So in case you are just tuning in, my name is Jason Joseph. Thank you all so much for being here. I do have to get rid of that other live stream. I apologize if that is deceiving. Couldn't help that. It crashed on me, OBS, and it started recording. The 0-2 grounder hit back over towards Sanchez. They'll flip over the second. There's one. That's all that they're going to get. So that's it. Whit Merrifield covering over at second base today for Bryson Stott. And there's one out. So it's just a fielder's choice ground out by Spencer Steer. And there's one out. Taijuan Walker's due back Friday, I think. Yes, that is correct. That is correct. All right, so bear with me because I have to get rid of this other YouTube stream that I have that was going on. Again, apologize. I know I just said this before, but I really do apologize about these technical difficulties. First pitch by Sanchez misses outside for ball 1 to Tyler Stevenson, who's hitting a $189 on the season with a .279 on base percentage to go along with that. All right. No balls, 1 strike. We're in the bottom of the first. Phillies lead at 1-0, and the 0-1 is down low for ball 1. We'll get to the crew chief and everybody else in just a few moments. All right, so let's make sure that we delete this and delete forever. The 1-1 way outside by Sanchez for ball 2. Good, so that's done. Spike that like button and hit that subscribe button, man. 6:53 p.m. Eastern Time. And Sanchez throws back over to first. That's the 3rd time in this inning where he is disengaged with the runner. It's not in time. Stevenson, with runners on base, is just hitting a $125, but with runners empty, with nobody on, he's batting .241. Fairchild gets off the base, and the throw over to home plate is low. Phillies' money line today was at -130, according to FanDuel, and Cincinnati, their odds were at +110. 3 balls, 1 strike. Stevenson ahead in the count, and the pitch stares a sinker at the knees for a called strike. So it's Fairchild, Steer, Stevenson, Candelario, Encarnacion Strand, De La Cruz, Martini, Espinal, and Benson. Another throw over to first base, and that's the 4th time now that Sanchez has disengaged with the runners. Stuart Fairchild, Spencer Steer, Tyler Stevenson, Jemer Candelario, Christian Encarnacion Strand, Elly De La Cruz, Nick Martini, Steve Espinal, and Will Benson. 3-2 on the way. Fly ball hit out towards right field. And Castellanos backpedals, and he'll make the easy catch just in front of the warning track, and there's 2 away. So again, the Phillies had a double by JT Realmuto in the top of the 1st inning with 2 outs, and then Alec Bohm had an RBI double to knock him in. And they took a 1-0 lead. We're in the bottom of the 1st. Jemer Candelario has reached base safely in 12 of his last 15 games. He's batting on the right side, hitting .197 on the season with 2 homers and 8 RBI. First pitch, a slider that's in there for a strike right at the knees. Phillies defensively will look just like this. Just give me 1 second. Bear with me. There we go. The Phillies have Bohm over at first as the 0-1 is swung on and missed. Over at second base, it is Whit Merrifield. At third, it's Edmundo Sosa. Short is Trey Turner. Catching behind the plate is JT. On the mound is Christopher Sanchez. And from left to right in the outfield, it'll be Pache and Rojas and Castellanos as the 0-2 is fouled off. Candelario down in the count with no balls and 2 strikes. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Phillies lead it 1-0 at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. The 0-2, Fairchild almost got really far off the bag, and Sanchez probably could have had him in a little rundown there if he reacted a little bit quicker. But nonetheless, we play on. The 0-2 is a breaking ball that's in the dirt for a ball. Phillies were able to shut out the Reds last night 7-0. We'll talk more about that. Phillies have been doing really good on this winning streak. Candelario hitting 105 with 2 strikes on him this season. 17 pitches for Sanchez in the bottom of the first, and the 1-2 on the way. Ooh, it just missed by a hair. It was low. It was a slider. Did not miss by much. That'll make the count even at 2 apiece. Sometimes you're just not going to get the calls on the sliders and put it in a good spot, but you got to get the calls. 2-2 on the way. Served foul right behind the backstop. That was a great pitch. It really was. Sometimes you can get away with those pitches that just look so deceiving, but you don't get the call. And even though it was a ball, you can live with that. The 20th pitch from Sanchez, and that's fouled off. Jeimer Candelario doing a good job at fighting in this at-bat. Candelario went 0 for 3 last night. He grounded out to short, lined out ended up lining out to Ranger Suarez, and also lined out to left. 2-2. Fly ball. Hit out over towards the first base side and foul ground. Bohm takes a look, and it goes into the stands. Not a lot of fans in attendance today at Great American Ballpark. There's a lot of umbrellas there. It's not raining too hard, per se. I don't even think it's drizzling, but it was raining a little bit before. 8 pitches in this at-bat. 4 of them have been foul balls to Candelario. Sanchez gets the signs and the 2-2 delivery low for ball 3, and now it's a full count. In the on-deck circle, it's Christian Encarnacion Strand, who's batting 180 with 2 long balls and 14 runs batted in. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Fairchild over at first base. 2 outs in the bottom of the first, and the 3-2 is low, and that misses for ball 4. So Fairchild's going to go over to second, and Candelario heads over to first base. And Encarnacion Strand is coming up to bat. Sanchez wanted to make sure that we talked about how he did in his last outing for the Phillies. He's been really solid for the Phillies as well. Really has been overall a very good pitcher for them this season. Talked about how he has a 1-2 record with 25 strikeouts. But in his last game, he only allowed 1 earned run on 6 hits and had 10 strikeouts, which is a season high for him. First pitch, line drive, foul over towards the left field side, and it goes to the corner. Encarnacion Strand slugging at .321 and has a .195 on-base percentage. No balls, 1 strike. And the 0-1, swinging a ground ball, hit over towards the first base side. It goes into right field. 1 run's going to come in to score, and that's Fairchild. Coming right behind him is Candelario, and it's actually Candelario stops over at third, and it's a 1-1 ball game on an opposite field RBI double. So that evens things up at 1 apiece, and Sanchez allows a run. See where this pitch was. It was supposed to be outside, and it ended up going over towards the middle of the plate. Encarnacion Strand can go the opposite way. Good job by him to just keep his head down and make some solid contact with the baseball. And he gets on with an RBI double, so we have a timeout called already. Caleb Cotham and the infielders want to go out there to talk things over. It's not an earned run because it was because Fairchild got on with an E5. So that's not technically an earned run allowed by Sanchez, I believe. Nope. So Cotham's going to go back to the dugout. Have some other things that we want to talk about during the break, including an interesting story about last night's game at the NBA with the Sixers. Elly De La Cruz this season with 2 outs and with runners in scoring position is 2 for 5 with a home run and 4 RBI. He's due up to bat on the right side, and he takes a changeup that is low. 1 ball, no strikes. Already 26 pitches in the first inning for Christopher Sanchez. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Another changeup that was sort of in the same spot. Looked a little bit more deceiving this time, though. And the count is even at 1-1. Pirates and Brewers are underway. It's 1-0 Pittsburgh in the top of the second. That game is still early on. And Boston and Cleveland are facing each other. That game is scoreless in the bottom of the fourth. The 1-1, chopped foul. Dodgers are in the East Coast, taking on the Washington Nationals. The game also just got started. It's in the bottom of the first. And the Rays and Tigers, that game is underway. It's in the bottom of the first. Rays have 2 runners on with 1 out, still scoreless. The 1-2 on the way. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. So, 1 run allowed. It wasn't an earned run by Christopher Sanchez, but it's an RBI double by Christian Encarnacion Strand, and we go to the top of the second. Phillies and Reds tied at 1 apiece. Okay. That pitch honestly was a little bit inside, but I know that the Phillies will definitely take that for sure. Let's see here. So, we'll talk about this. We'll talk about that story after the next inning because I got to make sure that I get my lineups correct. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe. Hit the bell icons, and that way you'll know when I go live. The name is Jason Joseph. This, of course, is Play-by-Play with JJ. Appreciate you all so much for tuning in. Means a lot to me. So, left field, center field. Stevenson's catching. Candelario's over at third. Strand is at first. And De La Cruz is at shortstop today. Martini's the DH. Espinal's over at second. And Benson is out in right field. Oh, Benson's a really good ball player, man. He really, really is. And then Abbott for them is on the mound. What else? How about Tyrese Maxey won Most Improved Player of the 2024 NBA season. That is awesome. Good job by Tyrese Maxey. That was literally just released right now, according to Shams from The Athletic. And now John Clark and everybody else is chiming in. Congratulations to Tyrese Maxey. Woo! Tyrese Maxey, man. Awesome job. Great feat just for him. JJ, you're the man. Thank you for all you do. Thank you so much, Matra Donato. Thank you, man. I appreciate you for being on here, bro. God VR 550. He's on here as well. He says, let's go Phillies. All right, so we're in the top of the second inning. Whit Merrifield is up to bat. And it's a 1-0 count. Again, Abbott back out there for his second inning of work. That was not even the story I wanted to talk about, but regardless, that was just breaking news, and Larry brought it up. That's what I want to talk about just a little bit. I want to talk about that during the next break. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the pitch. It's a pop-up hit out over towards shallow right field. Benson gets under it, and he makes the easy grab. He had to communicate with Espinal and Encarnacion Strand, who was over at first. So there's 1 away, and Merrifield pops out to right field. And now here's Christian Pache. So Bryson Stott and Brandon Marsh have the day off. Pache batting .200 this season. He had the walk-off RBI single in the last series for the Phillies. Actually, that was against the Rockies. Felt like it was the last series, but we've been doing a lot of Sixers games, and that's really thrown us off. Takes the first pitch inside for ball one. Abbott gets set at the belt, kicks, fires, and it's popped up over towards the first base side. It's blowing foul, and Stevenson makes the catch just in front of the dugout railing, and that's out number 2. A basket catch by Stevenson. I thought maybe he was going to hook a little bit more over towards the behind the dugout, but Stevenson just had enough room, and he caught it. So there's 2 up, 2 down. Or did they say that it hit the net? It hit the net. It hit the net. So it's a dead ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to Pache, and now it's a 2-1 count. That's weird. The 2-1 pitch. It's way outside for ball 3. So, and again, that's sometimes really hard to tell. It literally hit the net. It had to have hit the net. Looked like he caught it. Huh. That's like the weirdest thing. It's 3 balls, 1 strike to Pache. And the pitch to Pache, fly ball hit out towards right field. It's going back towards the track, and making the catch is Fairchild, just barely in front of the warning track for out number 2. So wait, so did that thing hit the net? Because how was that not a foul ball? That is so bizarre. They just said it was a foul ball on the changeup. They didn't say it hit the net or not. 2 outs in the top of the second, and the first pitch is just on the inside corner for a called strike. Sosa versus the Reds throughout his career is hitting .280 with 3 homers and 14 RBI. There's a .300 average with a homer and 2 runs batted in. The 0-1 swing and a miss. So Pache flies out to right field, or to center, right center really it was. Sosa's up to bat, and it's an 0-2 count. Abbott gets set again at the belt and throws it way up high for a ball. I'm still trying to figure out if that hit the net or something, because he clearly caught it. It's going to bug me because, again, I don't get the full vision. But it looked like he caught it. The 1-2 pitch. Line drive hit on the bounce over to third base. And the flip over to first. Sosa beats it out. How about that? David Bell, I don't know if he's going to challenge this or not, but Jemer Candelario thought that Sosa was out, and Bell wants to put on the headsets. Okay, so let's see if he was out. Nonetheless, good hustle by Edmundo Sosa. It was hit pretty sharply over to the third base side, and the first base umpire, it was Tony Randazzo, ruled him safe. Took a wild bounce. That was a good throw over to first. I think Sosa beat it. Maybe not. Maybe he was out by just a quarter of a step. But they have the headsets on. 2 outs and a runner over at first. Yep, the earpieces are in. And it's Phil Cuzzy and Tony Randazzo. Nonetheless, good effort. Should be a quick review, and he's ruled out. So the call is overturned. Sosa grounds out over to third, and that's that. When we go to the bottom of the second, a 1-2-3 inning by Abbott. And there we go to the top of the bottom of the second. Sosa's career average. Versus the Reds, are there any stats you don't have? Well, to be fair, that one came up on the NBC Sports app, but I do have a lot of things, and even sometimes what I do is I stat hunt, and that's probably not a really good habit when I'm in the middle of a game, but I really do try to find certain things that I know I have to my advantage, or I try to do the math in my head, because there's not always things that are available to me. What's up, DFJ? Thanks so much for popping on, my guy. Appreciate it. All right, so we're in the bottom of the second, and Sosa grounded out over to third. So they initially, the first base umpire, Tony Randazzo, ruled him as safe, but the call was overturned. Now they're saying that rain is supposed to be in the forecast in Cincinnati, so that's something to look out for. See the NBA admit that the refs blew it? I think he was talking to DFJ. Yes. It doesn't shock me, and hopefully this helps the Sixers, but whatever. It is what it is, man. They had every right to complain, and I'm happy that they did, but at the same time, they could have handled things a little bit differently, and we talked about it. We talked about it today. That's why I went live. All right, so let's go back to this, all right? Let's make sure that I have the lineups in there correctly. So Schwarber was leading things off for the Phils. Then it was Turner, and then JT. All right, up to bat now is the designated hitter for the Reds, and that is Nick Martini, who stares at a sinker at 95 for a strike. So it's Martini, Espinal, and Benson that are due up the 0-1 swing and a miss. I still can't get over that was a foul ball that Pache hit. It literally looked like that Stevenson caught that. The 0-2 on the way, that sails down low. And the count is now 1-2. All right. Phillies will have 8, 9, and 1 due up in the top of the third. The 1-2 bouncer hit over towards Christopher Sanchez, who gloves it over to first in time. Wow, what a play. Sanchez had to go off the mound over towards his left side, and he literally just glove passed it all the way to first base to Bohm. Good athleticism, and how about that play by Christopher Sanchez? That's going to go down as one of the biggest defensive plays, if not the biggest defensive play right now for the day. Yep, just a chopper, hit back over towards the left side, played on a bounce by Sanchez, and he had to backhand it and then turn his glove over, and he just flipped it over to first. Didn't even have time to use his hand, so good job by him. That's kind of like a lost art, if you will. No, not really many people practice that nowadays. The pitch, it's a ball. So that goes down as a 1-3 ground out. And the 1-0 pitch is down low and inside for ball 2. Espinal's up to bat, batting on the right side. Santiago Espinal hitting .119 on the season with 5 RBI, no homers. 2 balls, no strikes, and the pitch by Sanchez, it's in there for a fastball at 94 miles per hour. Again, not a big crowd at Great American Ballpark because the weather apparently is not supposed to be nice there. But it's a beautiful stadium. It really is. Always wanted to go. The 2-1 pitch. Line drive into right field for a base hit past the diving stop of Bohm. Castellanos fields it cleanly. And there's an opposite field single by Santiago Espinal. Just stays put over at first. If you are new to the channel, make sure you guys like. Make sure you guys subscribe. Turn on those notification bell icons. And that way you'll know when I go live for a Phillies, a Sixers, or an Eagles game. Well, Benson, we talked about how great of a player he is, but I forgot to say this. He is 0 for his last 16. But when he gets it going, he can be a very big contributor. He's batting in the 9th spot. He has an open stance, batting on the left side, and he takes the sinker just downstairs. It's 1-1. We're in the bottom of the second. Phillies had an RBI double in the top of the first by Alec Bohm. It would score JT Realmuto, who doubled right before him. The 1-0 pitch, broken background ball over to first base. Bohm flips it over to second for 1. The flip back to first, not in time. Sanchez had to go cover the bag. And honestly, that was a weird sequence because he had to get out of the way. It literally jammed Benson on the inside part of the bat. The bat went flying. You got to dodge that. And not only that, but you also had to field the ground ball cleanly, Alec Bohm that is, flip it over to second for 1. Sanchez had to duck his head on the throw, and then Sanchez had to go cover the bag over at first. The throw was not even near the bag by Turner, but it wouldn't have gotten the runner out anyways. So it's a fielder's choice. Benson stays put at first. Santiago Espinal was out at second. And now there's 2 outs in the bottom of the second, and the first pitch to Stuart Fairchild is in there for a strike. In the bottom of the first, after the Phillies got the RBI double by Bohm, Fairchild got on with an E5, Candelario walked then with 2 outs, and then Christian Encarnacion Strand tied the game on an RBI opposite field double. So it was not an earned run allowed by Sanchez, just a run. Throw back to first, not in time. Sanchez with 40 pitches, he had, I believe, 26 in just the first inning. 0-1 is the count. 4 seconds left on the pitch clock, and the pitch, swing and a miss. Good changeup thrown, just a hair outside. No balls, 2 strikes. $29. Thank you. Thank you for correcting me. No balls, 2 strikes. And Mike's right. Absolutely. 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Runner over at first. 5 seconds left on the pitch clock. Sanchez looks back over at first and now glances back to the plate. The 0-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. Good changeup thrown by Christopher Sanchez, the Stuart Fairchild. He went with all changeups in that at-bat and was able to get the job done. We go to the top of the third. Phillies are tied at 1 apiece in Cincinnati. What's up, Kim? How you doing, my guy? Thanks so much for popping on here. Appreciate it, man. Hopefully you're having yourself a very fantastic day, man. All right. Let me finish out the lineups here. So Rojas is coming up to bat. Wait, hold up. Did I screw this up? Schwarber, Turner, Real Muto, Bohm. Castellanos. That's what it was. Castellanos. I missed that. Castellanos, Merrifield. Got it. Pache, Sosa, and then Rojas. Okay. All right. Let's get to 2,040 subs, man. That'd be really awesome. I'm doing very good since my New York Rangers won yesterday. Yes, I did see that. And your Lakers, I know that you're a Lakers fan, but your Lakers did not take care of business last night. Phillies gave up a run. Yep, I said so. In case you are just tuning in, the Phillies had an RBI double from Alec Bohm in the top of the first. And then Christian Encarnacion Strand, after it was Stuart Fairchild that got on with an E5 to start off the bottom of the first. And then there were 2 outs. Candelario walked, and then Encarnacion Strand went the opposite way with an RBI double. So, again, it was not an earned run allowed by Christopher Sanchez because there was an error over at third by Edmundo Sosa. But that's how it's 1-1. We go to the top of the third, and coming up to bat is Rojas. They got the bags over the body bags over their bodies, the fans, that is. It was like, who made the error? Edmundo Sosa over at third. All right, here we go. So Abbott's out there, and he throws a slider that looked like it just missed for ball 1. Rojas up to bat. Rojas has been doing a good job for the Phillies. He did end his stolen base streak yesterday, but the 1-0 pitch, honestly, that looked like it was outside, but they call it a strike over at home plate. Tried to show bunt, but took it back, but it was a called strike anyways. He's on a 4-game hitting streak, and during that time, he's batting .538. The 1-1 delivery, changeup, that's in there for a strike. Oh, man. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Oh, I posted a podcast about that, Jeff. I posted a podcast. I'm feeling better. We can talk about it during the inning break. We just talked about that the other day. Yep. The 1-2 pitch, strike 3 called just on the inside corner. It froze Rojas, and he goes down looking. And Abbott gets his 2nd K of the afternoon. Nice pitch. I mean, nothing too fancy about that, but good time to go with that pitch. Schwarber struck out in the first, and he's due up to bat now. 1 out, and he takes a sweeper at the knees for a called strike. Kyle ended up going 0 for yesterday, but he did have a walk and a sacrifice fly. Every single Phillies player had a productive at-bat in yesterday's outing versus Cincinnati. The 0-1. Up high for a ball. Bohm's at first, Sosa's at third, Witt's at second, Pache's in left, Rojas is in center, Castellanos is in right, And JT's behind the plate. The 1-1 downstairs. The Reds are 12-10 coming into today. They have a 7-6 home record. 2-1 pitch. That's outside, but check swing, did he go? And the third base umpire said no. Yeah, I got to the game late. I had a driver's meeting at 5:30. Oh, excuses. No, I'm kidding. 3-1 pitch just outside for ball 4, and Schwarber walks over to first base. You know, Larry and I were talking about this last night, and, you know, obviously Kyle Schwarber has been a very controversial player in the city, and part of it's because of the defense that he provided over the last 2 years. Now he's off the field. And also the other part is batting in the leadoff spot. Trey Turner comes up, and he lines this one foul down the third base side. That was a screamer. But, you know, we were talking about the whole thing, and I said to him, you know, I'm okay. Like, if Kyle is getting on base, if Kyle is walking a lot, and he's having productive at-bats, and he's getting singles and home runs, as the 0-1 is outside, I'm okay with him batting in the leadoff spot. But ideally speaking, you want to have a guy that's fast and that can hit for average and also hit for power in your leadoff spot too. And I understand that side of the argument. The 0-1 is down low for ball 1. But I think at the end of the day, on-base percentage matters. Now, does Kyle Schwarber have a lot of speed? Not necessarily. 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. But if he's going 0 for 4, and he's doing that like time and time again, and he's hitting like 190, I don't care if they're winning or not. I want one of my best hitters to get the most at-bats, and if Kyle's not hot, that's just how I feel. 2-2 on the way. Fly ball hit out towards center field. Steer backs up, or Fairchild that is, and he'll make the catch just in front of the track for out number 2. But my question to you is, how do you feel about Kyle Schwarber batting in the leadoff spot? Do you think that with this whole controversy that surrounds Kyle Schwarber, do you think that he would be more loved if he wasn't in the leadoff spot? I think that's a fair question. You can be slow on the bases, but it's how you run the bases. That's a good point. JT slices the first pitch foul in this at-bat, so 2 outs. Turner lined out to center field. Andrew Abbott with 15 balls, 25 strikes, and 40 pitches. It's okay. You don't have to admit that I was right all along. The 0-1. Fly ball hit out over towards right field, and that is drifting, fouling out of play. And what a catch that was by that fan. Had to lean over a couple of rows. I don't know how he extended his body to do that. It's pretty crazy. You know my feeling on that, JJ. No, but I'm asking 2 different questions. How do you feel about him batting in the leadoff spot is one. But question number 2 is, because that has been a main topic of discussion, do you think that if that wasn't, he would be more loved here in Philly? The 0-2 on the way. Grounder hit over towards the middle infield, and fielding it is the second baseman, and the throw over to first is in plenty of time. And the side is retired, so Santiago Espinal fielded it cleanly and threw it on the run over to first base. And that's the end of the inning. So no runs, 1 man left, and we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Phillies and Reds tied 1-1. Schwarber's been running the bases well, but I want speed at the leadoff. It's fine. I understand. And I do agree with that. I do. I want somebody that, like Bryson Stott, ideally should be batting leadoff, in my opinion. I also don't like the whole lefty-righty thing with Trey Turner leading off, as much as I think that he should be a leadoff hitter, and I get that argument. But now, you know, you have Stott leading off, let's just say, and then you can put Trey in the 2. I'm not saying that Bryson Stott right now deserves to be batting leadoff, but ideally speaking, that's what I'm saying. You know? And then you have Kyle Schwarber coming up with, like, runners over at first and second. So, I'm a traditional guy. I want a guy to take pitches, get on base, and a guy who can run, like a Ricky Henderson type of a guy. I understand that. But do you think that that argument makes sense? But if the leadoff hitting was not a topic, because some people really don't like Kyle Schwarber because of his defense and because he bats in the leadoff spot, do you think that he would get more love if he wasn't batting in the leadoff spot? I'm not saying that Philly fans don't like him, but I just feel like that he gets a lot of hate right there. And I think he would get more love if that was the case. But what say you? Mike says, oh, yeah, definitely. He would get more love. I agree. I absolutely agree. If he was batting like in the cleanup spot or like 5th in the order with runners on base, I think that would be, I think he would get more love that way. And Larry also brings up a good point too, because he says, I think fans like him leading off. There are people that do like him leading off. So maybe it's a lose-lose situation, because when you think about it that way, that changes things. And now if you take him out of the leadoff spot as the first pitch is way up high for ball 1 by Sanchez, you're messing around. The 1-0 pitch, fly ball, hit out towards right field. Castellanos backs up just in front of the warning track, about a foot or so in front of it, and he'll make the catch. That is a good point, Larry, because some fans really do like him batting in the leadoff spot, and then they wouldn't like it that he's not. But I don't think that they would take it personally on him. You know what I mean? Like, some people take their frustration out on Kyle Schwarber because he's batting in the leadoff spot. But if he was taken out of the leadoff spot, they wouldn't be mad at him. That's now on Rob Thompson. So would they be disappointed? Yes, but I don't think they'd be mad at him. The 0-1 pitch, that's in there for a strike. To Stevenson. Kyle was fine at leadoff. You can make that argument. He would get more love. That's what I always hear. I wasn't really happy with how the Sixers played last night. What about you guys? I don't want to talk about that right now, to be honest. The 0-2 is up high for a ball. I posted a video about it earlier. I gave my thoughts about it. That's all I'm going to say. The 1-2 is downstairs for ball 2. Kyle was fine at the leadoff. Phil's fans love the occasional leadoff home run, so much that they don't care about speed. Yes, that's a valid argument. But I don't think that the fans would be mad at Kyle Schwarber for not batting leadoff. They would be more mad at Rob Thompson, because now that becomes a Thompson thing. 2-2 is inside and low for ball 3. That's where I disagree. That's where I don't want to say I disagree, because I don't know if you agree with that. That's where I stand. 3-2, line drive, foul over towards the right field side. Schwarber sees the most pitches per at bat of the 3 Stott/Turner. I get both arguments. I do. It's not the end of the world, but I can see both ways. 3-2 pitch, just inside for ball 4. So, there's a 1-out walk delivered to Tyler Stevenson. Actually, he struck out. Did he really strike out? He did strike out. How about that? So Steer, or no, it is Stevenson that struck out. Stevenson, no, he got on with a walk. NBC Sports is confusing me. A 2-out walk by Stevenson. And now Candelario's up to bat. So Jemer walked in the first. I got to pay attention. One-out walk in the bottom of the third. Sanchez is at 51 pitches. Says 1 out. NBC Sports is confusing me. No balls, 1 strike, and the 0-1 is down low for a ball. See, like, the thing is that the number one thing, and this is, again, Rule 101 about baseball, you just got to pay attention. Like, you can't rely on the graphics because they're not always going to be correct. You have to pay attention. The pitch on the way, change up, that's at the knees for a strike at 83 miles per hour. Stott typically sees more pitches, but the batting coach told him to swing early more, and now he can't hit. And that boosts, and that says, and that just demoralizes his confidence there. 1-2 on the way, ground ball foul over towards the third base side. So we're in the bottom of the third inning. All right, that's correct. Fairchild ended the second. Steer, flied out to right. Stevenson's over at first, and Jemer Candelario's up to bat. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sanchez gets set again just below the letters. The pitch on the way. Strike 3 called on the inside corner at 96 miles per hour on the gun. Third K of the evening for Christopher Strikeout Sanchez. Nice pitch. Good movement on the fastball. And sometimes, I think that's what makes him also underrated as well. 2 outs, and Christian Encarnacion Strand, who had a double his last time up, is up to bat in the first pitch. It gets away from JT, and jogging on over to second base is Stevenson. To be honest with you, it was a wild pitch, and that would have been really tough for JT to block. Let's see again. He probably should have shuffled his feet over towards the left side a little bit more, but I can't necessarily blame him for that. Stevenson's in scoring position. The 1-0 delivery, ground ball right through the hole into left field for a base hit, and jogging from third and coming in to score is Stevenson, and the throw gets away from JT, and going over to third base is Encarnacion. Took a weird bounce. It actually hit Stevenson as he was rounding third and coming into home plate. Pache's throw was off the line, and it literally just hit Stevenson, and it went all the way towards the first base side. And Bohm had to go get it. It was a good piece of hitting, though, by Christian Encarnacion Strand, who has another RBI base hit, his second of the day. And he gives the Reds a 2-1 lead. Just hit him right. Set the base runner as soon as it took a bounce. Elly De La Cruz takes a slider that's off the plate and outside for ball 1. So that's going to be recorded as an RBI single. Stevenson scored on an error. They're going to call the error on Christian Pache, and that's going to be counted as an earned run, obviously. But the runner over at third, if he does score, that's not an earned run now. 1 ball, 1 strike to Elly De La Cruz to foul the changeup. The pitch on the way is low for a ball. Runner over at third. That's Encarnacion Strand. De La Cruz up to bat. The 2-1 pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. The count is now even at 2 apiece. Thoughts on Elly? Great ball player, man. Great ball player. The pitch downstairs and in the dirt, and JT got away from him, but not too far away. And that time he probably should have been able to block that pitch. But thank goodness it didn't get too far away from him. So the count is full. Nationals took a 1-0 lead. Dodgers looking to tie it back in the top of the third with runners over at first and second. 3-2 on the way. Downstairs, and De La Cruz will go over to first base, and that'll put runners over at the corners. So the sixth man to come up to bat is Martini, who will be batting on the left side. Over at third base is Encarnacion Strand. And at first, it's De La Cruz. 67 people in here. And only 27 likes. Hit that thumbs up button, man. And hit that subscribe button as well. Up to bat is Martini. And the first pitch by Sanchez is a strike. It's a sinker, and nobody was covering second base, so De La Cruz goes into second. So that'll put 2 runners in scoring position. I guess that's a defensive indifference because nobody was covering the bag. I don't know why. The 0-1. Bouncer, hit over towards shortstop, sliding stop by Turner, flip over to first, it just got underneath Bohm's glove. He tried to backhand it. It goes into the dugout, and a couple of runs are going to score. De La Cruz scores, and it's now 4-1. So De La Cruz, they count that as a stolen base. It's now that's crazy. It's now 3-1. Let's see again. How are they going to rule this? It was a bouncer, hit over towards the middle. Turner made a sliding stop, threw it over to first base, and Bohm, he has to make that play. Probably would have beaten it out, though, and it should have just been an RBI single, but it went right into the dugout. And it is 4-1 because De La Cruz did score. I think it really should just be 3-1 because the ball went into the dugout. Oh, boy. Nope, it's 4-1. So how are they going to rule that? Martini reached on an infield single to shortstop. Encarnacion scored on an air, and De La Cruz scored on an air. So it's 4-1, Cincinnati. So they call it an infield single. And Turner, not saying he shouldn't have thrown it over to first base, because he definitely should have, but Bohm has to make that play. And I know he doesn't play first every day now, but even still, first pitch is a slider on the outside corner for a strike. Oh, he would have been out. That should just be ruled as an error. That's not even an infield single. Looked at the replay. That should just be an error. There's a ground ball back up the middle by Espinal for a base hit, and coming in to score now is Martini, and it's now 5-1, Cincinnati. They gave Turner the error. Honestly, Bohm should have been able to backhand that. Wasn't the best throw, but still. So Espinal singles up the middle. Martini scores, and it's now 5-1. They may change that a little bit later, but anyhow, the pitch is in there for a strike. First of all, why isn't anybody covering second base with De La Cruz over at first? They said it was, obviously it was an error on the throw. That's what they said, but still. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. That tiny crowd is something to clap for. So 4 runs allowed, 3 errors by the Phillies, and we're just in the 3rd inning. And again, to be fair, not all these guys play every day. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Not making excuses, but I mean, I know it wasn't the best throw by Turner, but Bohm has to backhand that. Cruz was on second, JJ. Oh, yeah, you're right, because I forgot that he stole. You're right. The 1-2 on the way, bouncer hit over towards the first base side. Yep, you're right. Because he stole second, literally on the previous pitch. That's right. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Will Benson. And the next pitch is downstairs, and JT could not field that one properly either. And going over to second base now is Espinal, and this has really gotten ugly. The ball bounced way in front of JT as soon as he tried to field it. Come on. You just got to be better. 8 men have... This is the 8th man to come up to bat. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Espinal dancing off over the bag at second, and the 2-2 pitch, grounder, and fielded by Bohm, and the flip over to first is just in time. That was a weird play, too. Bohm, I thought, was going to tag the bag, but he got Christopher Sanchez. He flipped it underhanded to him, and Sanchez just barely beat out Will Benson. So we finally get out of the inning, but it's 5-1 Cincinnati as we go to the top of the 4th. So that's going to go down as a 3-1 ground out. But why did they give him second base without even covering? That's what I literally just asked. I literally just asked that question. So that was a wild... They scored the last thing as a wild pitch by Sanchez. That's weird. So how many errors occurred in that inning? 2. 2 big errors occurred in that inning. Hopefully you're all having a good day on the stolen base. What's up, big dog? Yep, I agree. I said the same exact thing. What's going on? Skim TV, how you doing, man? How are you? We go to the top of the 4th. All that with 2 outs, too. You're right. Because Candelario struck out looking. Stevenson was over at first. And Encarnacion Strand had an RBI single. And yeah, there was a wild pitch that was before that. And Stevenson got over the second, yeah. 2 wild pitches and 2 errors. Can the Phillies come back is like the Nuggets versus the Lakers, or should I just cash out early? It's not like the Nuggets versus the Lakers. That's a playoff game, number 1. And number 2, the Reds. The Phillies have a lot more firepower than the Reds do. Benson's struggling bad. He is. I see that. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Phillies are down 5-1 on a very bizarre inning in that bottom of the 3rd. And the first pitch to Bohm is just on the outside corner at the knees for a called strike. Bohm had an RBI double in the first inning to give the Phillies a 1-0 lead. And the Reds have scored 5 runs since. 1 came in the bottom of the 1st, and 4 just came in the bottom of the 3rd. The pitch, and that's going to make things a 1-1 count. So right now, if you look at Christopher Sanchez, they said that he just allowed 2 earned runs, 3 walks, and 5 hits. Again, not all of it was his fault. The 1-1 pitch, fly ball it out towards right center field. Larry just jinxed me. And making the catch out at center a steer. And there's 1 away. Nick Castellanos is due up to bat. And the first pitch is just inside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Castellanos up to bat, and the next pitch sails low for ball 2. Castellanos, coming into today, is 0 for 2 lifetime against Andrew Abbott. The 2-0 fouled back towards the screen. And the count is now 2-1. Castellanos obviously played for the Cincinnati Reds for 2 seasons. Two balls, 1 strike. And the next pitch to Casty is fouled back towards the screen. During the 2020 season, he batted .225, had 49 hits. Wasn't really able to get a lot of home runs, but that was in 218 at-bats. But then it was the 2021 season that he had with the Reds that was really magical. 2-2 pitch. Fly ball it out over towards center field. Steer gets underneath it, and he catches the second out. And Castellanos is retired. That magical season that he had in 2021, he was an all-star. He won the Silver Slugger Award and was named to the All-MLB second team. The pitch to Merrifield is looked a little bit low, but it's a called strike. Just at the knees. That year, though, in 2021, he had 306 total bases, as the 0-1 is swung on and missed. Had 34 homers, 100 RBI, only 41 walks and 121 strikeouts, but he batted .309 and had a slugging percentage of .576 that year. The pitch, outside and high for ball one. So Merrifield is up to bat. He's 0 for 1 today. And the 1-2 delivery fouled back again towards the screen. MLB has all pro teams. Yep. All MLB teams. The 1-2 pitch, grounder, hit over to third base, gobbled up by Candelario, and the throw over to first is in plenty of time. And that's the end of the inning. So a 1-2-3 inning once again for Abbott. He has retired the last 6 batters that he has faced. 5 batters, I should say. And we go to the bottom of the fourth. Phillies trail 5-1. Since when? It was before the 2022 season. The DH was only used in the American League. But let me see. The roster each consists of a team of a catcher. There's an all-MLB team. Selections to the first and second teams are determined. It was established in 2019. That's what it was. Okay, so the all-MLB team, it's kind of like all-NBA, and all football, and they decided to start doing that. But that was started in 2019. Selections to the first and second teams were determined and still are by a fan vote, and the panel consists of media members, former players, and baseball officials. All-Stars are different. All-Stars are during the season. So All-MLB is after the season is done. Like the All-Star game. That's played during the middle of the season. But they have an All-MLB team, and that's how it works. So Castellanos made that in 2021. Yordan Alvarez, same as All-Star. No, it's different because you could have a very good first half and then a really bad second half. So they're talking about like overall years. Like remember when Bryce Harper won the MVP? He was not an All-Star that year. He had a terrible first half and then just had a really, really good second half. Who did he pay off that year? That's a good question. That was funny. Mookie and Alvarez actually have each made 4 All-MLB teams, and Freddie Freeman has 5. The most, though, is by Shohei Ohtani. He's done it 6 times. There's Junior Marte who comes in. So Christopher Sanchez, his day is done. And Junior Marte comes in. Rob wanted to make a move early. Again, it was not all Christopher Sanchez's fault today, but it wasn't his sharpest. Stuart Fairchild is 0 for 2, reached on an error in the first. The Phillies have made 3 errors so far. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Then pick the All-Star team at the end of the year like the NFL. Well, are we talking about All-Star selections? Because obviously they have the Pro Bowl at the end of the year, or used to have the Pro Bowl at the end of the year. The All-Star game is during the middle of the season for baseball. So that kind of makes sense that they have an All-Star team at the end of the season for the NFL. I hope that makes sense. The 1-1, there's a grounder that's foul. So it's just easier to do that. Are you saying make the All-Star game 2 at the end of the year? I don't think you are, but 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Stuart Fairchild. Junior Marte once again on the bump. It's 1-2, and the pitch to Fairchild. Grounder hit back over towards the middle. Turner has it, throws over to first, and that is just in time to get Stuart Fairchild. And he is out. At a messy stat sheet so far. All right. Well, Marte comes in with a .93 ERA, 11 strikeouts, and a 1.03 whip to go along with that. Then the All-Star team is really all half-star, all half-season star. That's exactly what it is. First pitch is a ball, so it's 1 ball, no strikes. Marte with just 5 pitches. Steer is up to bat. He's 0 for 2. The top of the order for this Cincinnati team has gone 0 for 9. 0 for 8, actually. The first 3 batters. Next pitch is taken for a ball. So it's 2 balls, no strikes. If you guys are just tuning in, make sure you guys hit the like button and hit the subscribe button as well. My name is Jason Joseph. The 2-0 delivery, fly ball it out over towards left center field. It's going back towards the track, and Pache leaps up, and he makes the catch. Oh, man, what a play. What a play out in center field. That was actually Johan Rojas that ended up making the catch, and he is down on the ground. Rojas made a really nice catch. He banged into the wall out in center field. The translator and Rob Thompson and obviously the athletic trainer for the Phillies are all going out there. That is just why he is so good. He goes into a push-up position, and he's on his knees. Trey Turner also comes out there to support him. So Pache and Rojas had to communicate. That was not an easy play whatsoever. Rojas able to just hit that fence out in left center field. It's a hard fence. I mean, they have like some green panels in between the actual fence itself, but that is a barbed wire fence. That's crazy. What a play, though. So he's sitting down. The trainer is out there along with his translator, and they're just checking him out. Rob Thompson is there to support him. I can't really tell like where they're trying to grab onto, but he really made an incredible catch. 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th inning. So Steer gets robbed on a base hit, and Rojas does stand up. He's trying to see if he can walk, and he's bending his knees now. Seems to be all right. That's going to be all over MLB defensive plays. I thought that thing had a chance of going out. It was just in front of the Starfire sign out towards the left center field alleyway. He actually ended up hitting that panel. I thought maybe he was going to hit the back of the fence, but he did not. So thank goodness, because that's barbed wire right there. That's will not be easy to jump into and not comfortable. All right, so 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Thompson pats Rojas over on the shoulder. He's standing up now, and they want to see if he can run, so he's just practicing running back and forth over at the warning track out in left center to right center. And he says that he's okay. As he puts the glove back on, Thompson pats him on the shoulder. So does the trainer. And everybody's going to go back to their spots. A salute to the cap to Johan Rojas for making that ridiculous catch out in left center. And again, Pache has to communicate with him, and Rojas was like, I got it. I can track it down, and this is why he is so valuable. Just insane, and the fact that he stays in there, that's good. I was scared that he was going to bounce into the barbed wire, but it's wild. All right. So 2 outs now in the bottom of the 4th. Just an insane catch. by Yohan Rojas. Wish it was a better call, but... All right, so Tyler Stevenson is due up to bat. He's 0 for 1. He walked in the third and was able to score on a run as well. Marte gets set at the letters, and there's a line drive over the shortstop's head for a base hit. Pache plays it on 2 bounces, and there's the second time that Stevenson has gotten on base. This time it's with a single. And I just go back to that catch by Rojas. You have to, you basically need to, like, cover so much ground out in center field. And he just, with his age and the maturity that he has at that young of an age to just command center field like that, that's his position. It really is. Again, he has to get it going hitting-wise, and he's doing a better job. But I wouldn't be shocked if he won a Gold Glove this year out in center field, seriously. The 0-1 pitch, grounder, hit over to second base, bobbled by Merrifield. He has it, though, flips over to first, and that's the end of the inning. All right, we go to the top of the 5th inning. Yohan Rojas jogs back over towards the dugout as he makes an incredible catch to get the second out of the inning. It's going to be all over ESPN highlights and all over MLB Twitter as well. We go to the top of the 5th. Phillies down 5-1. I think he ended up hitting that right hip when he leaned into the panel. These things are pretty skinny. What's up, man? Oh, God, Rex. Hey, JJ, do you think that the Phillies can score 5 runs or more to win this game? Absolutely, man. Absolutely. If you guys are new to the channel, though, I appreciate you all so much for coming on here. My name is Jason Joseph, and this is Play-by-Play with JJ. So I come on here, I give you the play-by-plays. You know, we're different than other channels. You know, a lot of people, and there's nothing wrong with this, but they do like a watch party-esque like type of a style, like a Peyton Manning type of a cast. And there's nothing wrong with that. But we like to do it classic style, especially for here because you guys can't see everything. There's people that tune in that are out of the area that are like, like I'm tuning in. I can't necessarily see what's going on, and I want to give you the best type of viewing experience. That's really what it comes down to. I want you to know what's going on, and I want to be able to give you like a good, solid radio play-by-play. And that's what I do. I want to go into broadcasting. I'm trying to work on my radio play-by-play voice, and that's why we're doing this almost every day. It's different than traditional broadcasting for sure. I'm not interviewing the players. I'm not going into the dugouts, and I'm not, talking to people in the locker room and in the clubhouse. But this is the best type of experience I can get, and I'm doing it from the comfort of my own house. And I'm really lucky. I'm really lucky that I'm able to take a chance on this and do it this way because this is how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be all about the reps. So that's how I feel, man. So if you guys really do enjoy this channel, though, please hit that subscribe button and tell your friends about this, please. Please tell your friends about that, about this channel. It's possible to crash with barbed wire out there. You know, the one thing I got to do a better job at is get the descriptions of everything correct. It's not really barbed wire. It's really a metal fence. That's what it is. I should have been more specific. 1 ball, no strikes. Good thing that Larry brought that up because honestly, this is why I do this because I wouldn't be able to say that anywhere else. It was a metal fence. Should have just said that. Is that really metal? Yeah. All right, 1 ball, 1 strike, and the pitch to Pache. It's down low for ball 2. They call it a cyclone fence. Thanks. I got to take notes. Again, this is why we live and we learn. A cyclone fence. Thank you. Trying to get better at the descriptions. Cyclone fence. That's why reading is so important. 3 balls, 1 strike. And the next pitch is outside for ball 4. All right, so Pache leads off the inning with a walk. And now Rojas is coming up to bat. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Actually, Sosa's coming up next, and then it's Rojas. Because I had that in my lineup wrong. Come on, Rob, get the boys going. Razor wire's a nightmare. That stuff just looks mean, Larry. Yep. Here's Edmundo Sosa, who swings at the fastball at 92 miles per hour right down Broadway for a strike. But it's like those types of errors you can't screw up with. I have to know better. Phillies down 5-1. We're in the top of the 5th. It's an 0-1 count to Edmundo Sosa. Abbott gets set and throws the next pitch way up high for ball 1. Andrew Abbott, 2 strikeouts in 4 innings. Coming into today, he has a 2.70 ERA. He's 24 years old from Lynchburg, Virginia. 6 feet tall, 192 pounds. And the 1-1 delivery is in the dirt for ball 2. Last game that he pitched, he went 6 innings. He allowed 2 earned runs. Both of them were on solo homers to the Seattle Mariners, and ended up losing 5-1. The homers were hit by Cal Raleigh and Mitch Garver. 2-1 offering. Up high for ball 3. Three balls, 1 strike. 8 seconds left on the pitch clock. And the pitch outside again for ball 4, and Sosa able to walk 2. So Pache moves over to second. Sosa's over at first. Back-to-back walks allowed by Abbott. And he's in a little bit of a jam here. Phillies trying to take advantage. Let's see if they can. This is the chance for them to do so. Pitching coach for the Reds is going out there to try to calm down his pitcher. So the Phillies have an opportunity to try to get something going here, and they hope to do so. All right. In case you are new to my channel, hit the thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button. If you were tuning in on Facebook or on any other platform, I would really appreciate it if you either A, came onto YouTube, because I'll read your comments on there. But if you can't, I appreciate you guys for being here. Make sure you guys follow on all the other platforms. All right. Here's Johan Rojas, who made a spectacular catch out in left center field. And he's still standing. Great song by Elton John. First pitch is just inside for a ball. I love Elton John, man. Didn't he actually just perform in Cincinnati, or am I mistaken about that? 1-0 pitch, way outside for ball 2. Rojas again 0 for 1 today. Two-0 pitch. That's just in there for a strike on the upper third of the zone. According to SeatGeek, Elton John tickets in Cincinnati for 2024, they start at a price of $121, an average $106. It's wild. The pitch on the way, swing and a miss, and the count is now 2-2. Wonder how much Billy Joel tickets are. Not even just to like MSG, but just tickets to just like a regular Billy Joel concert. I haven't really been to too many concerts. That Elton John song, Rojas Still Standing. Looking like a true survivor and feeling like a little kid. 2-2 pitch, popped up, and that's going to go behind home plate. And that's fouled off. How much are the tickets to Elton John in Cincinnati? I said 124. Actually, wait, that was, how much are Elton John Cincinnati tickets? Tickets for Elton John shows in Cincinnati start at $121 and average $106. He hasn't announced that he's going on tour, though, this year, but this was according to SeatGeek. The 2-2 was fouled back. Red Hot Chili Peppers are going to be at the Riverbend. Where is that? That's a Riverbend Music Festival? Is that what it is? 2-2 is down low, but the tickets for that are starting at $95. They're actually $65 for lawn tickets. Huh. That's cool. I like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Pache's over at second. Over at first is Sosa. And the 3-2 pitch, grounded foul. How much are the tickets outside of Cincinnati? I have no idea. Elton John tour dates. I could look that up. 3 balls, 2 strikes. I don't think he's going on tour this year. He hasn't announced that yet. The 3-2 pitch down low for ball 4. And back-to-back walks allowed by Abbott. And the tying run is coming up to the plate. And guess who's up? It's Kyle Schwarber. How about that? So Fernando Cruz getting warmed up now in the pen for the Cincinnati Reds. Schwarber is 0 for 3 with the bases loaded this season with a strikeout, and the first pitch, swing and a miss. That was a high fastball at 93. And I thought Schwarber was just going to take it, but he decided to be aggressive because it was a fastball. Big spot here. Nobody out. We're in the top of the 5th. Bases are juiced for Kyle Schwarber. The 0-1 delivery. That's way up high. And it's a 1-1 count. I'm still Schwarber. Yeah. Now that's going to be stuck in Larry's head. Larry wants it to be contagious to everybody. But I started it. The 1-1 to Kyle. The sweeper that's off the plate for ball 2. That makes the count now 2-1. Pache's over at third. Sosa's at second. And at first, it's Rojas. Nobody out. The 2-1 pitch to Schwarber. Swing and a miss. That sweeper was a little bit high. And the count is even at 2-2. I mean, it was a good pitch thrown by Abbott, but you just wish that Schwarber would be a little bit more patient. Two balls, 2 strikes. Trey Turner waits in the on-deck circle, and JT Realmuto's in the hole. The 2-2 on the way. Strike 3 called on the outside corner at 93. And Schwarber goes down looking for the second time tonight. And there's the first out of the inning. It was a good pitch. And honestly, I know that I said that Schwarber has to be a little bit more patient, but the types of pitches that Abbott threw there were pretty good. I think that David Bell is going to go out there, and that's going to be it for Andrew Abbott. And Trey Turner is going to come up to bat, so he's going to go with the righty. And that's going to be it. So he goes 4 1/3. The runners at all the bases are still his responsibility. And we have another call to the bullpen in Cincinnati at Great American Ballpark. Fernando Cruz will be coming in. Oh, boy. Hit that thumbs up button, baby. Larry says he feels a double play ground ball coming. Well, if it makes you feel better, Trey Turner is 1 for 2 against Fernando Cruz. So, and he's gotten on base twice against him throughout his career. Just had that at my fingertips. I'm not even trying to show off. I wanted to make Larry feel better because Larry made me feel better last night about the Sixers. He did. Larry actually made me feel better. And seeing him optimistic actually was a sight that I never really thought that I'd see. Like from, I don't want to say it like that. When Larry's optimistic about something, that usually means it's a sign of good things to come. It really is. So I like that. I like that because I didn't really feel optimistic last night. And you can even tell by sleeping on it. I feel like they can still make this a series. Okay, somebody wanted to talk to me about the Sixers before. I gave a podcast about it earlier. I was actually on my way home, and I wanted to just rant and give my thoughts about everything that happened. But I learned from the first two games that it's not like that the Knicks are far superior compared to the Sixers. The Sixers really have a chance. They do. If they were getting blown out these two games and just looked like they were being outmatched, that's one thing. As heart-crushing as both of those losses were, some of it came down to luck. And at the end of the day, the superstars outplay the role players. So I still have confidence in the Sixers. Here's Trey Turner, who comes up to bat, and he takes the first pitch wide for ball one. So Fernando Cruz has 5 holds this season in 9 games with 18 strikeouts in 9 innings. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. That was a cutter that was just a little bit low. Trey's 0 for 2 this season. He's 0 for 2 with the bases loaded with a strikeout, but he's hitting .280 in his career with 5 career grand slams. The 1-1 delivery, swing and a miss. Oh, man. Trey got fooled on the cutter once more. It's been, hasn't gone to the four-seam fastball. Cruz is 34 years old, from Puerto Rico. Stands at 6'2", 237 pounds. Bases juiced, and the 1-2 on the way. Swing and a miss, and Trey Turner strikes out on a splitter. That was in the dirt, and there was nothing but trouble. So there was nobody out with the bases loaded, and back-to-back strikeouts have been provided by Andrew Abbott and Fernando Cruz. So now there's 2 outs, and JT is coming up to bat. Remember, he doubled in the first and grounded out in his last at-bat. Can he get the Phillies some more runs here? First pitch, fastball at 96 on the upper third of the zone, and JT swings and misses at it. Was thinking he was going to get a fastball there. I think he might get another one here, but let's see. The 0-1 on the way. Fly ball hit out towards center field, and backing up is Fairchild. It caught him off guard, but he makes the catch, and that's the end of the inning. 3 straight walks allowed by Andrew Abbott, and the Phillies strike out with Kyle Schwarber and Trey Turner, and then JT lines out to center. All that for nothing. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. Phillies still down 5-1. Back-to-back strikeouts. Well, 7 pitches total, but 4 pitches. A strikeout on 7 pitches. I think that's what it was. Oh, man. Back-to-back strikeouts on 7 pitches. Yeah, because remember, Abbott faced Schwarber, and then Cruz just came in to face Turner. If you are new, make sure you like and subscribe and hit the notification bell icon, and that way you'll know when I go live. The name is Jason Joseph, and this is Play-by-Play with JJ. Do we even have a hitting coach? Well, he's a good one, but he's... I think that the guys are struggling. I don't agree with the philosophy about Bryson Stott. I really don't. That's what I don't like. But Kevin Long gets a lot of respect, and I think he's a good hitting coach. But sometimes these players get into their head too much, and maybe, I don't know if it's him. I don't know if it's a combination of just confidence and just with the way that the nature of baseball is. Like when you're in a slump, you're in a slump. Or situational hitting. If you're talking about situational hitting, then maybe that may come as a Kevin Long problem. I don't know, though. That wouldn't surprise me. But I can't, because I don't know what's going on in the organization, so I can't necessarily say something just out of spite. You know. Junior Marte is going to go out there for another inning of work as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. But nonetheless, the Phillies should have been able to get something out of that. I haven't seen results in several years. Well, I don't know what to say. I don't really have a yes or a no type of an answer. So Turner struck out. That was on 5 pitches, and JT lined out on 2, so that was the 7 pitches that he was referring to. All right, so no balls, 1 strike to Encarnacion Strand, who was able to get the first 2 RBI base hits for the Cincinnati Reds. Marte on the bump, and the 0-1 is low. So the count is even at 1-1. Christian Encarnacion Strand actually has had an interesting story in regards to his baseball journey. Wanted to kind of talk a little bit about that. The 1-1 pitch. Line drive over the head of Turner into left field as it flares in there for a base hit. And it's another base hit by Encarnacion Strand. Gets on with a single, that is. And now Elly Cruz is up to bat. Elly is 0 for 1. He walked in the 3rd, scored a run, and also stole a base as well. So Encarnacion Strand is over at first base. Was born in Walnut Creek, California. Went to College Park High School. Okay. But his story is really fascinating because as Elly takes a first pitch that's down low, he's now batting on the left side of the plate. Batting on the right side before. 1 ball, no strikes. He is the longest last name in Major League Baseball history with 17 letters. That's what makes him interesting. 1-0 pitch is down low for ball 2. The previous leader, if you remember him, Simeon Woods Richardson, was a former professional baseball player for the Minnesota Twins. Pitch is in there for a strike. He's 23 years old. He's in the league. But he played in the 2020 Summer Olympics. And he's still with the Twins. He made his Twins debut in 2022. 2-1 is outside for ball 3. So he had the longest one. Had the longest name. But Encarnacion Strand surpassed him. 3 balls, 1 strike, and the next pitch fouled away. And when you really think about it, there's really not a lot of ball players that really do have a lot of characters like in their name. Like you think about Donovan Peoples-Jones, for example, like in the NFL, or Marquez Valdez-Scantling, or from an NBA standpoint, Meta World Peace, even though it was really Ron Artest. I'm just saying. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And the 3-2 coming up. Here it is, the pitch. Fly ball hit out over towards left field. That's going back towards the track, and that baby is long gone. De La Cruz goes the opposite way. Marte allows a home run, and it's now 7-1 Cincinnati. Well, gets high fives from everybody in the dugout. Again, fastball down the middle. De La Cruz can crush that thing, and he was just staring and backpedaled and still a little bat spike. I'm always thinking, though, like, as soon as that ball is hit, like, if that thing lands, you got to run, man. We're in the bottom of the 5th. The first pitch is in there for a strike. I know that no one's going to talk about it, but I still feel like you got to run there. Nick Martini is up to bat, not Nick Nelson. But the 0-1 is swung on and missed. So Elly De La Cruz gets a 2-run homer. Encarnacion Strand has scored for the 2nd time today. The 0-2 slapped foul over towards the left field side. That was a pretty wild swing. The ball's 2 strikes, and the 0-2 on the way is upstairs for ball 1. Then it makes me think about like guys like Sir Anthony Dominguez. Like, how many characters technically is that? Because that's a pretty long name too, and that's not hyphenated. And Larry says that shouldn't count. 1-2 on the way. It's at the knees for strike 3, and Martini goes down looking. Elly De La Cruz is just one of those guys that can just capitalize on any single mistake. Then the Phillies are getting ran off the floor. What's up, man? Still not over. I've seen some crazy comebacks. They had their opportunities, but only in the bottom of the 5th. Larry says 14 characters, that is. Okay. The pitch is down low for ball 1. Trying to think of, like, other people that had long last names. The 1-0 delivery, that's in there for a strike. But now, see, does D. Strange Gordon count? No, because it's hyphenated. Okay. So, according to Larry's standards, that does not count. 1-1 is the count. Speaking of counts, different type of a count, though. And the next pitch is low for ball 2. Antetokounmpo is a long last name. Yeah, I know you're talking about basketball. Is that the longest in basketball history, actually? Do you know? 2-1 pitch. Grounder hit over towards the third base side. It is a foul ball. We're really going to have this conversation now. Yeah. Thanasis Antetokounmpo is a long one. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Marte gets set, and the pitch. Line drive into right field. Castellanos catches it, though, and there's 2 outs. Just on the line. So Elly De La Cruz hit a 2-run home run. He was batting on the left side of the plate and went the opposite way. He destroyed that baseball. Scored Encarnacion Strand. Now Will Benson's up to bat. The NBA has the really crazy names. I think that Marquez Valdez. I think that the NFL has some of them too, though. Like the long last names. Benson is up to bat. He's 0 for 2. He grounded into a fielder's choice his last time up, or his first time up, I should say, and then grounded out his last time up. The count is now 2-0, so the first 2 pitches were balls. 2 balls, no strikes. Marte gets set just at the letters, and the 2-0 delivery. Line drive over towards the center field side, and there's a base hit. Got in between the circles, and there's another base hit for the Reds, so Will Benson able to get aboard. So everybody now in this lineup, except for the 1 through 4 hitters. Actually, that's a lie. Stevenson got on with a single. So hitters 1, 2, and 4 have not recorded a hit today. They've all gotten on base, though. Here's Fairchild, who was the one guy that's hitless, and the first pitch is a grounder hit over to third base. Sosa has it, throws on the run to first, and just gets Fairchild to end the inning. All right, time to go to the top of the 6th. Phillies down 7-1, thanks to another big-time home run by Elly De La Cruz. That's his first of the day, but Reds get some more runs, and it's now 7-1 as we go to the 6th. Abdullah the Butcher. Abdullah the Butcher. Is that an actual name? Abdullah the Butcher. He's a wrestler. He's 83. Abdullah the Butcher, yes, he had a long name. I know what you're trying to say. I was thinking you were saying Allah Abdanabi. Benson did not get a hit. Oh, yeah, Benson did get a hit. Sorry, I was thinking of Fairchild. Yeah, you're right. All right, I'm going to take a very, very quick step off. and I will be right back in just a few moments. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe and hit the bell icons, and that way you'll know when I go live. The name is Jason Joseph, and this is Play by Play with JJ. We are on for the Phillies, the Sixers, and the Eagles. Now, the other people the other day were like, man, like, you do, like, the Sixers and you do the Phillies? I'm like, yeah, I say that all the time. But yes, all right. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button. What's up, Jordan? Keep it PG, my guy. Keep it PG, bro. But I appreciate you for coming on here, man. Buck Farmer will be the new pitcher for the Reds. He's gone. He has a 4.22 earned run average. Opponents are batting .225 against him this season in 8 games. 10 strikeouts and 10.2 innings of work, and just 4 walks allowed. First pitch is way up high and inside the Bohm. Phillies have not gotten a hit since the RBI double, I believe, by Alec Bohm. That's correct. They haven't gotten a hit since the first inning. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss on a sinker that was swung on and missed right down the middle. One ball, one strike. And the 1-1 delivery, line drive into left field for a base hit, and Alec Bohm probably heard what we said as he'll be able to cruise into second base. It was just down the third base line, and he's into second base standing. Good piece of hitting by Bohm. This is why I think he should be batting in the cleanup spot, because he's just able to get hits now. And he took a fastball that was down the middle. I mean, nothing too fancy about the pitch, but a piece of hitting, and now Castellanos is coming up to bat. Hit the thumbs up button, man. Let's get to 50 likes. Come on. Let's get to 50 likes, baby. Come on. We're slacking. We're at 36. Here's Castellanos, and the next pitch is grounded foul. They're not winning this game. They're just not. Y'all are funny, man. I think I know what he's doing, though. I think he's doing reverse psychology here. The 0-1 to Castellanos. He lays off the slider. That's at 82 miles per hour. Spike the like. There you go, mods. Look at that. And spike the subscribe button, too, man. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the 1-1 to Castellanos is dribbled foul over towards the third base side. So that makes the count now 1-2. So Nick Castellanos is 0 for 2 today. And he's looking to try to get on base. The 32-year-old went 2 for 4 against the Reds last night. The 1-2 tries to take a little hack at it, and it's popped up over towards shallow center field. Not even a full swing, and making the catch is Steer out in center for out number 1. I mean, didn't even have a full swing, just like tried to poke at it, literally, and got way underneath it. What's up, Carter? How you doing, man? And now up to bat is Whit Merrifield. Sorry to bring this up, to bring up basketball stuff, but do y'all think that Maxey deserved Most Improved Player? Because I don't think so. If you've been watching basketball, no. The pitch, grounder, hit over to third base. It's bobbled by Candelario, and everybody's going to be safe. So Merrifield gets on with an error by Jemer Candelario. He tried to step with his back foot and tried to field the ground ball. I think he took his eyes off of it, though, for a very quick second. He did. And Just tried to provide a little juggling act there, and Merrifield is aboard with an E5. I can understand what you're saying, man. I can. Because if you've been watching, you know, he played really well last year, and he should have won it last year. Here's Christian Pache as he takes a slider that misses wide for ball one. But what do you guys think? Should Tyrese Maxey have won Most Improved Player of the Year? What do you think? Comment down below. The 1-0 pitch. That's a changeup that misses outside for ball two. Just saw on Twitter that Dodgers prospect Gerald Perez is somebody that is somebody to look out for. He's the number one prospect in low A with the RC Quakes. 2-0 pitch. There's a grounder hit over to shortstop for one. The flip over the second, there's one, and the throw over to first just in time for a 6-4-3 double play, and that's that. So Pache grounds out into a double play, and we go to the bottom of the sixth. Phillies trail 7-1 in Cincinnati. Tobias should have won it. That was funny. That was very comical. Mike Green says no. Dude, I can't watch the game. It keeps going out. What keeps going out, man? What keeps going out? The cable? The ads? Are we talking about your TV or whatever? Because you're watching the live stream here. You know? Technically, we're not watching the game. Oh, boy. The station. The station keeps cutting out. That could be your Wi-Fi. Are you getting ads? You got to be specific, my guy. As to what's going on. If you are new to the channel, though, hit the thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button. Appreciate you guys so much for being here. What else should we talk about, man? Here's a question I have for you guys, and you can feel free to comment your thoughts down below about this. So, when you go to the ballpark, okay, tell me where you got to go if you want to get food. 3 places that you got to go to get food. Actually, let me rephrase that better. What are 3 types of food that we have to get at the ballpark? Someone I remember said cotton candy last year as being one of them. Then ice cream is number 2 if it's in the summertime. I guess it depends. And then crab fries. I think that if I'm going to the Phillies ballpark, okay, I need to have crab fries. I just need crab fries. But what would I like? I like ice cream. Ice cream is good at the ballpark during the summertime. And I'm going to go with this. I got to have a bottle of water, even though it's so pricey there. Orion Kirkring is going to pitch now for the Phillies. And he comes in to pitch, and Spencer Steer's at the plate, and he takes a strike. So it's a 1 ball, 1 strike. We're in the bottom of the 6th. In Philly, a cheesesteak, a Hatfield, and a Yingling. That's cool. I like that. The pitch, that's down low for ball 2. You don't have to watch. You got the best in the business. Streaming, just listen. Yep, exactly. Do I put ketchup on my hot dog? Nope, I do not. But who puts ketchup or mustard on their hot dog? 2-1 pitch, grounder, over to third base. Sosa has it, throws over to first. Good play by Bohm, too, as he tried to dig it out. And Sosa is able to record the first out of the inning. So Kirkering, 4 pitches in that at-bat. Here comes Tyler Stevenson. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Stevenson did single his last time up. He takes a hack at the 98-mile-per-hour pitch, and he swings and misses. Sausage, pepper, onion, and a sandwich. Sausage Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball right down Broadway for a called strike. Larry's like, no ketchup on the dogs. Why? You're not a ketchup guy? Larry has to have beer, hot dogs, ice cream, and an honorable mention is a cheesesteak. Bro, you ever tried the crab fries? Oh, the crab fries are so good at CBP. The 0-2 is up high for a ball. What about relish? That's a good one. I like that. 1-2 on the way. Grounder hit over to third base, backhanded by Sosa. Flip over to first in time. Nice play by Sosa. He had to backpedal and play that ground ball on 2 bounces and had to fire a strike over to first. And there's 2 away, so good plays by Sosa over at third on 2 straight plays. I can't have a glizzy in public. Plain glizzy for me. Ooh, boy. Never even heard of crab fries. Well, it's a Chickies and Pete's thing. It's beautiful. They actually, during the World Series in 08, that's the first pitches in their first strike. I remember when they were literally like $7. They were like $7.50 or even as low as $5. And now they're like $18. And that's without the cheese. You got to get the cheese with it too for like an extra $1.50. Dreamer Candelario walked in the first. He's 0 for 2. They're so good. People say, oh, it's just Old Bay, but it still is good. The 1-1 pitch. Grounder hit back over towards the mound. Kirkring has it, flips it over to first, and the inning comes to an end. Time to go to the top of the 7th. Phillies down 7-1 in Cincinnati at Great American Ballpark. Off topic, best cheesesteak in Philly. Pat's is good. There's a lot of good ones. What's that one that starts with a J? Oh my gosh, what's that called? D'Alessandra's is also really good, by the way. Is the one that we went to, Max's Steaks. That's really good. That is really good. Max's Steaks. That is a very, very good cheesesteak place. I think that was the best cheesesteak I ever had. Gino's is good. The original Gino's, yeah. Leo's Steakhouse in Delaware County is the best. Leo's is good, too. I've heard good things about Leo's. Best hot dogs are sold at the Flyers games. What's up, Skip? How you doing, man? If you are new to the channel, make sure you guys like and subscribe and hit the bell icons. If you want to donate to the channel as well, by all means, hit that super chat button down below. I know I don't really say this a lot because I'm not really looking for money, but if, you know, I do this a lot. And if you want to support me, you're more than welcome to hit the super chat button or donate to the channel. Anyway, any sort of contribution is always a plus. Jim's is another one that I've heard is phenomenal. Smash that like button, that's right. And DFJ, you know what you got to do? I don't even have to tell you what you got to do, and you got to do it, my guy. Put that link down below. DFJ, shout out to DFJ, man, because like he's just such a humble person, and like I have a lot of respect for him. I really, really do. Did an awesome job for me last night doing the Sixers game. Edmundo Sosa's up to bat, and he takes the first pitch for a ball. Windmill in Long Branch, New Jersey. Where's Long Branch? Is that like near the shore? Buck Farmer out there for his second inning of work. 12 pitches. Phillies down 7-1, and the 1-0 to Sosa fouled off. Sosa walked in the 5th. He's hitting .273 on the season with a homer and 2 RBI. 1 ball, 1 strike. Farmer gets set at the letters. Kicks, fires the pitch, swing and a miss. That slider was way outside, and Sosa's down in the count 1-2. What's the best place in Jersey? I'm trying to move out there. Are we talking about cheesesteaks or what? The 1-2 on the way. That sails way outside and low for ball 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Edmundo Sosa. It's 8:40 p.m. Eastern Time on the East Coast. 4 seconds left on the pitch clock, and the 2-2 delivery to Sosa tapped foul. Sosa had a nice, big solo homer last year against the Reds. As the 2-2 is sliced foul. But the game that I'll always remember is when he had the hit against Mike Minor, struck out 7. That was on August 15th of 2022. And he had a big-time hit in that game. So the pitch, it's inside, and actually ends up... Sosa ends up getting on base, and Rojas is now due up to bat. So he gets hit by the pitch. Said that he was hit in the foot. So there's a runner over at first. Still nobody out. Pache comes up. Or Rojas comes up, and he takes a slider that's in there for a strike on the inside corner. Donkeys Camden. Donkeys Camden. Best pizza in Jersey is DeLucia's in Raritan. Huh. The pitch on the way that sails outside and low for a ball. What else do you have to bring with? What else do you have to get at the ballpark? Are you like the types of guys that like have to, the types of people that have to buy a beer at the ballpark? And so, what type? The 1-1 on the way, swing and a miss. I'm not really a cotton candy guy. I don't know. There's just something about it that I'm not a fan of. Is that weird? Am I weird for that? 1-2 is the count to Yohan Rojas. On deck is Kyle Schwarber. And the pitch, fly ball, hit out over towards left field. And it's hooking out towards the outfield. De La Cruz gets under it, makes the sliding catch. And the throw back over to first is not in time. Man, what a play by De La Cruz. That thing was blowing out towards the shallow left field line. De La Cruz had to turn over his shoulder and make a sliding catch just at the line. Then he got right back up and was almost able to throw Sosa out over at first base. I mean, he shows it off with the bat. Rojas, even though he got way underneath it, just a nice, fine play. Schwarber pops this one up over towards the first base side and foul ground. And making the catch is Encarnacion Strand. And Schwarber, on one pitch, has to go back to the dugout. Thought maybe it was going to just hook foul, but it was not the case. Good defensive play again by Elly De La Cruz on that catch. There have been a lot of good defensive plays in this game, seriously. Two outs and a runner over at first, and Trey Turner's coming up to bat. And Trey stares at the slider at the knees on the outside corner for a strike. I feel like baseball and beer goes along with beer and fishing. It's enjoyable how it is, but it's a lot better with a beer. The 0-1 is down low. Actually, it was just on the outside corner at the knees for a strike in the eyes of the home plate umpire. Interesting. Because I guess that a beer is sort of like a drink that you use like when you're sitting back and trying to relax. The pitch is down low, so Turner takes it all the way. It's exit 10 off the turnpike, huh? One-two on the way up high for ball 2. Yeah, Braden Point has like 97 goals over the last 2 seasons. Such a stud for Tampa Bay. 2-2 on the way. Fly ball hit out over towards right field, and it's going to stay foul. Jeez, that thing was... Thought maybe it was just going to have a chance to go fair. There's not really a lot of room in between the right field line and foul territory for the wall. So, Turner has to go back to home plate. And he does. He gets back into the box. And we do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs in the top of the 7th. And the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And Trey Turner strikes out. And the inning comes to an end. Time to stretch at Great American Ballpark. In Cincinnati, it's 7-1 Cincinnati. Okay. Beer is proof that God loves us. And he wants us to be happy. That was a quote by Ben Franklin. All right. Finally, Julio Rodriguez just hit his first homer of the season. All right, I'm going to ask you a Phillies trivia question. And if you get the question right, you will hear this. If you get the question wrong, you'll hear this. Okay. Here's what I want to know. Today's date is April 23rd. Okay? So, which Phillies player hit his first home run in his first major league start on this day? Which Phillies player hit his first home run in his first major league start on this day for the Phillies? Anybody know? Anybody? Comment down below. Take a wild guess. Wes Wilson. On this day. No, Wes Wilson did it in August of last year. So that is on this day. That was the same day that Michael Lorenzen had his no-hitter. So that's incorrect. That was on August 9th, the day before my birthday. Cody Clemens. Incorrect. Dave Owens. One more guess. One more. Matt Strom's going to be pitching now for the Phillies and throws a strike to Encarnacion Strand. Strom has gone 8 games with a 2.08 earned run average. Opponents are batting 188 against him. Anybody else with any other answers? Steve Carlton, you're joking. The 0-1 line drive caught over at third by Edmundo Sosa. And there's 1 out. So Elly De La Cruz is coming up now. Was this recent or all time? I can't give you hints. All right, so nobody got it. So on this day, Chase Utley hit a grand slam in his first major league start, leading the Phillies to a 9-1 victory over Colorado, and that was at Veterans Stadium. That happened on this day. That was the hitter that hit his first career home run in the Phillies uniform on this day. 1-0 pitch, fly ball, hit out over towards right field. Elly De La Cruz almost had a hold of that one. What a catch that was out in right field. Again, batting on the right side and almost went the opposite way. Yep, Chase Utley did it. Today was also the day where Lane Cross hit for a cycle, and he was the first catcher to do so. And he walked for the Phillies to beat Brooklyn in 1894 by a final score of 22-5. That's crazy. Emilio Pagan is warming up in the bullpen. It was back in 1894, so that is the 130th anniversary, right? 130th anniversary. 130 years ago on this day, he had a cycle. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Fly ball, hit out over towards right field. It took him foul, and that goes out of play. So nobody knew that Chase Utley homered on this day. And had his, that was his first game, and he had a home run. Huh. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Strom gets set at the letters, and the next pitch is way inside and high for ball 2. Yikes, just had to get out of the way of that. 2-2 is the count. Strom gets set and throws the next pitch. Fly ball it out over towards right field. Castellanos on the run, and he'll make the sliding catch. Nice play by Nick. Yeah, and a guy that doesn't really have too much speed in the outfield, but he gives it his all. Made a pretty nice catch there, and De La Cruz is retired. Honestly, his slides are really fancy, man. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming on and stopping by. Appreciate it. Drop your link down below, man. Here's Martini. Comes up to bat, and the first pitch is outside for a ball. It would be more memorable if it was in his first at bat. Oh my gosh. Okay. The guy that has to be the guy that has to ruin it. Oh, it would have been more perfect if that was in his first at bat that he had the grand slam. It would have been even more perfect if it was on the first pitch that he's ever seen. You're funny, man. 1 ball, 1 strike to Martini. 2 out, space is empty. The pitch. Check swing, he went around. They didn't even have to appeal. Home plate umpire says that he went. DFJ, you still here, my guy? Is DFJ still here? And CeeLo, drop your link, man. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the next pitch, swing and a miss. Larry just wants to know every single trivia question for the Phillies, so that's why he's saying this. And the inning is over. So Martini strikes out. And there's a 1-2-3 inning, and we go to the top of the 8th. But I mean, yeah, you're technically right, but that still is a pretty memorable thing. It's in your first game you hit a grand slam. I think that that's pretty memorable. I do. I think that stands out. But that's just me. But I guess that, I don't know. Come check us out for NASCAR Braves Country. Or Braves Baseball on the go with CeeLo. That's exactly right. Yep, post that link, man. And again, thanks so much for coming on here, dude. I appreciate that so much. We didn't know who he was yet. Oh, Larry, come on. You're making excuses. Oh, it would have been better if he hit the right-handed, if he hit it right-handed. Mike's tagging along. We're trying to double team Larry. Oh, it's beautiful. That's nice. Got some more trivia? Nope, I just do it every day, like for the 7th inning. But I will tell you another fun fact about something else that happened on this day for the Phillies. You want to hear that? So, today was also the same day that Pat Burrell, drove in 2 runs in a 3-1 win, and that was against the Brewers, and he broke the team RBI record for April with a total of 24 for the month. He had 24 RBI in that month of April. And Von Hayes had that record at 22 back in 1989, so he surpassed that. So that's just a fun fact there. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Phillies are down 7-1. Emilio Pagan is going to pitch for the Reds. In 9 games this season is a 4.0 ERA in 9 innings, 11 strikeouts, 2 walks allowed as well. And I'll have to face JT up at the plate. I think DFJ left. Ugh, I wanted to ask him a question. Who's the guy that ended up hitting a home run right-handed, like when he was naturally a lefty or something like that, or maybe it was the opposite way? Sorry, Larry, just teasing. Of course, of course. JT pops the first pitch up, and it's over towards the third base dugout. Going to be a tough play for Stevenson, and actually Jimmer Candelario gets under it, and he calls him off, and he'll make the catch. It's like the fifth time today a Phillies batter is just fouled out. It has not been their day at the office. And, well, if we're honest, they were on a big winning streak, and it looks like that's now in jeopardy, if we haven't said that before. Now, Bohm has been a bright spot for the Phillies. He was 2 for 3 so far today, and the pitch is downstairs for ball 1. Phillies are on a 7-game winning streak. They've won 8 out of their last 9 games. The 1-0 pitch, and that's on the inside corner for a strike. That was actually the first time. This is the first time that they've gone on an 8-game winning streak in April since 1975. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding about that. Don't take that seriously. I just wanted to say something and think that you guys would believe that. Now I can't be trusted. The 1-1 pitch is down low for ball 2. It's not April Fool's, JJ. Passed that 22 days ago. 2-1 pitch. There's a towering fly ball hit out towards left field. It's going to stay in the yard, though. And backing up to make the catch out in left for out number 2 is Fairchild. And there's the second out of the inning. No, I'm wrong. What was Pat Barrel's dog's name? I don't know who it was. Castellanos takes a strike. 2 outs in the top of the 8th inning. Not a lot of offense today by this Phillies squad. Count is 0-1 to Nick. Phillies have only been able to put up 1 run, and the 0-1 delivery swing and a miss on a splitter at 85 miles per hour. So Pagan, who is in there, Emilio Pagan, he's now 32 years old. Hard to believe that because he's been a guy that's been around for, this is now, his 7th season? He started off in 2017. Remember, he was on the San Diego Padres for 2 years and played for the Twins over the last 2 years before this season. The 0-2 on the way. Grounder hit over to first base. Encarnacion Strand gobbles it up and tags the bag, and that's the end of the inning. Phillies down to their final 3 outs, but first we go to the bottom of the 8th. Cincinnati leads it 7-1 at Great American Ballpark. Phillies have only gotten 3 hits today. That's it. That's literally it. If you are new, make sure you like and subscribe and hit the bell icons, and that way you'll know when I go live. Who else is on here? Who else is here, man? We got 41 people watching and 41 likes. Let's get to 50, man. Come on, we got to get to 50 likes, people. You got to wake up. Tell your friends about this channel. Let's go try to get more and more people on here. Hopefully, hopefully we can do that. Come on, you don't remember Darren Dalton's first homer? You call yourself a Phillies fan? I'm not talking about that. That's literally a different thing. A first home run of your career, it's a grand slam, and it's on your first day. You should remember that. That's pretty special. That really is. It's pretty special. That's different. Ryan Howard's home run, I'm not going to remember that. But Chase Utley, it was his first game that he played. And it was a grand slam. That's pretty special. That's different. He was a nobody at the time. Okay, but it doesn't matter because then looking back on it, it's like, I mean, was Chase Utley really a nobody? Because he did have a lot of talk, I thought. Yeah, like at the time, but like when you look back on his career, it still is something that's pretty remarkable and something that's special that I think that I would remember. Like, I remember Bryce Harper's walk-off grand slam that he hit against the Chicago Cubs. Like, that was pretty something special. I remember that he hit his 300th home run last year, and I think he had 2 home runs that day. He was a nobody at the time. Ricardo Pinto is going to pitch the bottom of the 8th inning. I remember Jason Hayward, like, homered and hit a grand slam in his first at-bat. I was watching that game live. 1 ball, no strikes, and the next pitch is in there for a strike. Dalton's homer was a 6-run homer, and it went all the way to Ohio. Okay. Mr. Jokester. 1-1 pitch. There's a towering fly ball hit out over to left field, and that's not coming back. It is gone. And now it's an 8-1 ball game. Well, big time home run again. And another one allowed by the Phillies pitching staff. It's by Espinal. Santiago Espinal was able to get a long ball on a solo shot out to left. Well, they're putting the Viking hat on and plus the cape. And he ripped that thing out to left field. And now Will Benson comes up and he pops this one out over to left field. Pache maybe takes 2 steps over towards his left side, and that's it. And he will make the catch. There's one away. Chris Middleton just went to the locker room. I got that notification. Fairchild reached on an error in the first. So for 4 today. In the bottom of the 8th, and the first pitch by Pinto is inside. It was a splitter at 87 miles per hour. Make sure that you tell other people about this channel. The 1-0 pitch. Ooh, that's way inside, and that ended up hitting Stuart Fairchild. So, there's a hit by pitch. And Fairchild is able to get on base. And I think that David Bell is going to go out there to check on Fairchild. Phillies are bad luck on my parlay, says Vic. Or did he hit it to a spaceship, Larry? Nope, he hit it in my dreams, says Larry. Y'all are funny, man. You know, sometimes we don't realize like how much of an impact that we make on this channel here. And again, like I know that we try to have fun and we try to make it sort of our own and a comfy type of an environment and more informal but still professional. The Steer steps up to the plate and he takes a strike. Last night I learned something and it was really cool. So I celebrate Passover for those of you that don't know. Got to spend some time with family, and that was really awesome. The other one is fouled back. And one of my cousins was telling me that we have somebody on here that, you know, he told him about our channel. And I think that he was a roommate of his. I can't really remember now. I don't know why. The 0-2 popped up, hit out over towards shallow left center field. Rojas gets under it, and he'll make the catch, and there's 2 away. But anyhow, he like tunes in all the time. And it's really, really cool. The fact that he's like always on, tuning in, and just able to come on here and really enjoy it. I think that is just awesome. Like the fact that, you know, we're spreading the word in person as well. You know? You never know, like, how much of an impact you can make. First pitch is in there for a strike, and Kathy's another good example of that. Kathy said to me she wants to start a podcast. And shout out to Kathy Ann, by the way. Sending all the thoughts and prayers to our cleanup hitter. Hopefully she's recovering well. But, you know, you never know how much of a difference you're going to make in somebody's life if you do something. And that's kind of gratifying. The ball's 2 strikes, and the 0-2 on the way. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. We're going to go to the top of the 9th. Phillies have their last chance to bat, and they'll have Merrifield, Pache, and Sosa coming up when we return. All right. But yeah, I think that's what makes this thing so cool. Is that you never know who you're going to meet on here. It's a different type of a world. And, you know, I'm constantly learning, you know. Constantly learning, always trying to find ways to get better. And I care, you know. Time is 9:07 p.m. Eastern Time. Sometimes I just like to have conversations with myself. Sometimes I'm not really much in a talkative mood. But we get to practice these things. And even though, yes, we are putting this on live for the whole world to see, I'm going to screw up. I'm going to make mistakes. But once I nail something, I nail it, you know? I used to be afraid of that, but I'm not afraid of that anymore. So we go to the top of the 9th inning. Last chance for the Phillies as they trail by 7. Reds had 10 hits today. Phillies only have 3. And the last hit that they had was on a double by Bohm. So they haven't singled today, they haven't tripled, and they haven't homered. Just all 3 base hits have been doubles. 2 of them have been recorded by Alec Bohm. The other one was by JT. Will says, you're really good at this, JJ. I really do mean that. Like, I appreciate I do appreciate the compliments. You know, that is also really gratifying, and I'm happy that we have other people here that aren't afraid to critique as well, because we're always looking to get better. You know, the 0-1 on the way to Merrifield. Fly ball hit out over toward the left field, and there's the first single of the day. Whit Merrifield's able to get on, and Mole, who's on the mound, just with 2 pitches, able to allow the first single of the day. There were a couple times like where I did screw up tonight. But the one thing I do got to get a better job is not harping on the mistakes. I know that I do use this as practice, but I'm still technically live, right? And people can see me, so can't do that. First pitch is in there. It's actually just inside for a ball. Yeah, like saying barbed wire law. Exactly. That's exactly correct. That's exactly correct. Should have just said metal fence. Live and you learn. Can I make that mistake on a national TV broadcast? No. And this is why. This is another reason why, like, I don't have that opportunity yet, because I got to get reps. You know? The 1-1 pitch on the way. It's on the inside corner for a strike. Sometimes the Phils are getting blown out and we have to find ways to amuse ourselves. It's true. Mole, as last season, he had a 3.03 ERA, 68 strikeouts, and the 1-2 is inside. So Christian Pache is up to bat. In case you are tuning in, Phillies are down 8-1. They just scored 1 run in the first, and they've allowed 8 runs since, obviously. 2-2 delivery, swing and a miss. And Pache strikes out on a sweeper at 79 that was inside. There's the first out of the inning. Phillies down to their final 2 outs. And Mundo Sosa's coming up to the plate. You got to be brave to play outfield for the Reds. MLB would never allow that. You know, the pitch, there's a grounder that's just fouled off the foot of Sosa. Here's the thing. Use it to build your rep. But moreover, here on YouTube, you're trying to build a Philly community. So don't worry about nailing every play-by-play. Build that community. The 0-1 popped up over towards the first base side and foul ground. And making the catch is Encarnacion Strand. And the Phillies are down to their final out. I think we can do both. You know? It's, while yes, like I have a brand and I have done things to focus on on our community here, and that is a big thing. Both are important, but you're right that should be a part of the something that I look for too. First pitch, there's a grounder hit over to shortstop, and the flip over to first is in time. They say that that's the game, and Rob says hold it for a second. And they're going to put the headsets on, so they're going to see if Rojas did beat this out. JJ's birthday's on February 29th. It's a leap year. It's August 10th. Y'all are funny. All right, so the Phillies are going to challenge this. This was the last out of the inning. And I believe, honestly, that Rojas may have just beaten that out. I do. Let's see again. If he does, then he extends his hitting streak as well. It was hit over to third, and I think he beat it. I do. I think he just got there, but we have to take a glance at maybe a closer look. Anything can happen then. Let's see this again. I think he just got there as soon as the ball was in the glove. So if that's the case, if it's a tie, it goes to the base runner. So say there's a chance. There is. Phillies take on the Reds tomorrow afternoon to wrap up their 3-game set. We'll be covering that game. Don't worry. We'll be back on. That game will be at 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Actually, sorry. They wrap up their series on Thursday. Tomorrow they play at night again at 6:40. I apologize. I keep thinking that today's Wednesday. Then they wrap up their series at 1:10 on Thursday. All right, so they're still reviewing this here. They have the earpieces in. Rojas grounded over to third base, and honestly, this could extend his hitting streak. So just from a statistical standpoint, this is big, so let's see. He's safe. All right, so Rojas gets an infield single and keeps his hitting streak alive. Technically 7. What do you mean technically 7? Doesn't start at 7. So now Kyle Schwarber's coming up to bat. Did I say 7-game winning streak? I didn't say winning streak. I don't remember what I said. But here's Kyle Schwarber. Runners are over at first and second. Merrifield's at second base. That's the second single of the inning and the second single of the game. So Schwarber comes up and he takes the ball just outside. These games have really been going by quickly. But Philly's not done yet. 1 ball, no strikes, and the pitch to Schwarber. That's on the inside corner for strike 1. 3-pitch strikeout at coming. Well, that did not happen. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch by Mole. That's just down low for ball 2. PHOI Phillies says that just about sums it up. Like 15 minutes, or yeah, they just said that, but I wonder if they're going to take that back. 2-1 pitch to Schwarber, bounced foul, and Phillies officially are down to their final strike. What's technically 7, my guy? Ugh. All right. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs. And the 2-2 to Schwarber, swing and a miss, and that's the ball game. The Reds have even up this series at 1 apiece. And the Phillies looking to try to capitalize tomorrow night, but they go down and lose by a final score of 8-1. They get 4 hits. They had their chances, and they had a very bad 3rd inning with a lot of defensive mistakes. Christopher Sanchez was not as sharp as today, but didn't pitch terrible. But the Phillies definitely did not have a good day on all cylinders. Their bullpen allowed a lot of runs, but anyhow, Christian Encarnacion Strand is going to be the player of the game. He had an RBI double to tie the game up at 1 apiece in the bottom of the 1st, and then was able to give the Reds a 2-1 lead on an RBI single, and they did not look back since then as they end up winning by a final score of 8-1. I appreciate you guys so much for being here. I really do. What did he say? No, JJ, it was the February 29th joke. I said you're technically 7. Oh, okay. I'm technically 7. Okay, I understand what you're saying now. I didn't know that was in reference to that joke. I didn't pick that up. But yes, all right. I do appreciate you guys so much for being here. Again, my name is Jason Joseph. This is Play by Play with JJ. I mean it when I say I really care a lot about you guys, and I know that obviously, I want to try to grow the brand and try to get more people to come on to, to the channel and stuff. But just want to remind you guys that I really appreciate all of you for being here ever since day one, because I'm not here without you guys, and I want to make sure that I acknowledge that, because it's the truth. It really is. Like, yes, we have drive, but we've had some really awesome support on here. And without that, there is no play-by-play with JJ. And that's the truth. All right, so Phillies snapped their 7-game winning streak. They're now 15-9 on the season. We'll be back at it tomorrow night. Phillies play the Reds in Game 3 of this this 4-game series. Best of 7 is the NBA. All right, love you. Catch you on the next one. Good night. Laila Tov.